Welcome to the conversation part of the Upper Bowl podcast. We have the host of the Lapped podcast, which you can check out on all platforms as they talk all things Formula One. He's a producer for at 105.3 The Fan in Dallas, Texas, so you can hear him on Fan After Dark Show, Fred Davis and Blake Elliott, and he has a great show segment called Khaki Kicks. I'd like to welcome to the podcast Kevin Walker, aka Khaki Kev. Welcome to the Upper Bowl podcast. How are we doing tonight, by the way? Are you happy with some football going on?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. Happy to be on. I've seen all the clips, and now I'm honored to be another one of the 105.3 The Fan people to join. But yeah, no, I'm pumped, man. Especially you got me on a good day, Black Monday. We can talk about all the coaches that got canned and predict who should go where. I mean, this is great. It's perfect.
Black Monday is always a good podcast day, anyways, because everyone wants to talk football. And it's the best day, anyways. And plus, we did all of, if you want to listen to more of what we predicted on the Guess the Lines wildcard weekend, we all think Kevin Stefanski may go to either the Giants game or taking a year off, go take a coordinator's job. What do you think, anyways?
Kevin Stefanski, there's a part of me, it's weird because two-time coach of the year, and he gets canned in an unfortunate situation. You paid all this money to Deshaun Watson, and you're sitting here with three quarterbacks that you don't really know what the hell you're going to do with them.
Yeah.
Like the fan base probably wants you to start Shador. The fan base already hates Dylan Gabriel, and we don't really know what Deshaun Watson has left, or even if you want to play him anymore. Because I don't think no matter what you get, it's going to be worth, I think, that $240 million contract that you signed him to. So you're kind of in quarterback purgatory. And you hand the guy that, like I said, two-time coach of the year. He's proven to have a solid offense.
Best Browns head coach in like 25 years.
The Browns have always been a tough out. It's not like they're like, a team that you just steamroll all the time. I mean, it helps with their defense for sure.
Yeah.
I like the prediction you said going to the Giants. I find that interesting, being that Joe Shane is going to lead that attack. I think they're probably going to go with a younger guy, whoever they feel like is best fit for Jackson Dart, because I mean Jackson Dart is their quarterback of the future. I mean, that's just point blank period. Him with Malik Neighbors, as well as as many years that they're going to be able to get from Cam Scatterbo. I think that is probably going to be where they go. I do like Kevin Stefanski. It sucks that he got canned. I'm interested to see where he goes. If he does take a coordinator role, I think he could flourish.
Oh, yeah.
But I think he still could be in the head coaching conversation. I mean, hell, the Titans are interviewing anybody that has ever coached Pee Wee football before. So
I'm amazed that the Titans have not called up Butch Davis or any other retired head coaches. Like, do you want to take a check from the Amy Adams trunk anyways?
Just give John Gruden a call at this point.
The thing is, will John Gruden want to leave his cushy barstool job and
probably
go to the Titans?
Yeah, probably not. But if you're the Titans, I mean, what do you have to lose at this point?
Well, you have a good quarterback, which is like something the Titans have never had since Steve McNair. Anyways, you had your stint with Vince Young, and then Kerry Collins took over. So the Titans are just a rudderless. The sailboat that's stuck at the sea that's circling? That's what the Titans are anyways. That's what we've considered it. It's like we've said it for a few teams. Like, oh, the Panthers are that team. Maybe they'll get back to shore one day. Lo and behold, the Panthers have gotten back to shore at least.
I was going to say the Titans, another problem with the Titans is that they're like, oh, we need a quarterback. Like, we got to address the offensive issues. Like, we need a head coach. Your issues are from the top. Your issues are structurally from the top. And until you get that cleared up, you're not going to have a good head coaching system. You're not going to have a good offense. And, I mean, their defense has always been at least solid.
Yeah.
We forget it was just 2019, 2020 when the Titans were one of the teams running the table in the AFC. So it's not like they can't do it, but organizationally, the Titans are a mess. But, yeah, they found a star in Cam Ward for sure.
Yeah, it's just all you see is an offensive line and maybe a wide receiver that has actual hands and not have the case of the drops like Calvin Ridley. Anyways, that's what I defend Cam Ward as much as possible sometimes, but sometimes I just can't offend him. Like, you have the worst weapons I've ever seen next to maybe Jared Goff's rookie year if the Rams with Jeff Fisher as head coach, anyways.
I want to say, because I'm a Texas Longhorns fan, I want to say Gunnar Helm is on the Titans, and he had a pretty decent year. He tied in for the Titans, I want to say. I think he's playing for the Titans. He's one of their guys. He'll probably emerge as a star tight end for the future. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Calvin Parlay Ridley is not helping him out. He's not doing him any favors. And I know that because in fantasy, I traded for him, and he ain't doing nothing for me. So
he enjoyed that Hard Rock Bet app way too much, anyways. That's only available in Florida. That's why he got caught, anyways. So, all right, let's talk about the Lapped podcast, the Formula One podcast. What makes your podcast different from all the other Formula One podcasts? I was looking at all the Formula One podcasts. It's like there's way too many. What makes yours different from everybody else? Sell it to me, like you're a salesman, by the way.
Honestly, the thing that makes us different is that we're American. Me and my co-host Tristan Ryans. We bring it to you kind of in an American fashion. If you're sleeping on a rock, you haven't heard of F1, you just don't really know about it. It's a European sport for sure. It's dominated in European sport wise, and it's hard to find a guy that's not talking about it with a British accent. And sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. Sometimes you like it. Sometimes you're like, I want something that's more American, more down home. Well, me and my buddy Tristan, we think that we do a really good job of keeping it light, keeping it fun, not taking ourselves too seriously. He's a Mercedes fan, I'm a McLaren fan. So we're constantly battling it out. Like we'll show our pride in our teams, but we'll also call it how we see it. But we do our due diligence. We watch the races through and through. We try to take as many notes as we can. We come into each podcast prepared and ready to explain why things happened. And, we'll follow all the accounts that we need to find out, oh, this car made upgrades or this team made upgrades. This, the rumors following what driver's going to go where. Okay. But no, I would say what makes us different is that we're a little bit more lackadaisical. We're a bit more laid back, but also we're going to bring you a lot of information, and you're going to walk away from our show learning at least one thing about Formula One if you didn't know it already. So,
would you say that the F1 Netflix show is the best thing that's ever happened to Formula One? Because I felt like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, I didn't even get into it until the F1 show happened, and me and my friend Tristan, we met. As most people do through work, and he started talking F1. I was like, yeah, I know a little bit of F1, and he's more like the tech nerd, and then I'm more of like if you could like a play-by-play and then a color commentator, like that's kind of how we are. So like he's more on the tech side.
So like the aerodynamics guy and the computer stuff, would you say?
Right. Yeah. Something to that effect. Something to that effect for sure. But no, I would say the show was fantastic. It is obviously dramatized, right? It's going to be on Netflix. It's going to be dramatized. Not everything you see on there happened exactly as you saw it, but a lot of it is accurate, and it all stems from Netflix picking up F1 and then the controversial season that happened in 2021 with Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. And since then, it's only gotten bigger. And now we got 3 races, one of them in Austin, one of them in Vegas, and then one of them over there in Miami. So it's you get a lot of viewership from America as well as worldwide, being that it is a global sport. I mean, they race 22 different races, and not 22 different races in multiple countries over the year. And it's a long season. And the last thing I'll add is they just signed a deal with Apple. So now Formula One is going to be on Apple, and it's not going to necessarily cost you more. It's just, hey, go buy an Apple subscription and you can watch Formula One, and it's fantastic. You can, be on board. You can watch the race from the helmet of your favorite driver if you wanted to. They give really good breakdowns, really good commentary. So for those who really want to learn about it, you want to learn the ins and outs of it, because if you just watch a race, it's just just cars driving. But if you learn the drama, if you learn the ins and outs, and why this driver did this, and the upgrades and the breakdowns and all these different small things, it becomes a really big deal, and you can get interested.
What race do you want to go to, anyways? Have you been to the Austin one or not?
Man, I haven't gone to any of them. I want to go to Austin really, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's definitely a bucket list item is to go to the Austin Grand Prix. They are doing an Indy Grand Prix in the Grand Prix of Arlington here in Texas. It's going to wrap around AT&T Stadium and
That's
Globe Life
awesome. Yeah, I
Field,
saw
so
that.
that's going to be cool. So I do plan on going to that. But as far as going to a Formula One race, have not yet. But yes, definitely on the bucket list. So if
As
any of your
someone
fans have the hookup, just go ahead and hit my line.
for sure. I went to an old this is probably I'm gonna date you a little bit. Old Champ Car event. This was like when IndyCar was split between
Okay.
IRL and Champ Car. I like Champ Car because the drivers were cooler. The TV exposure was awful, but you could find it anyways. It was like one year was on Spike TV. I always loved the Long Beach Grand Prix in Long Beach, California. It was like perfect street circuit, historic history, perfect. Anyways, I went to that in 2003. Coolest experience ever, and I always want to go back out to it. But it's like I look at it as like I don't want to go out to Long Beach for a weekend because it feels like you're like half the city shut down anyways. So that's my problem.
Well, it's expensive to go to Formula One races, man, because you so a quick breakdown because I'm not going to take
Yeah.
up your entire time
No,
talking
no
about Formula
worries.
One. I promise. I promise.
No, you're good.
But pretty
We're
much
good.
the essential breakdown is Friday is your practice day.
Yeah.
So you've got on a normal weekend 2 practice sessions. On Saturday you have another practice session, and then later that night you'll have qualifying. Qualifying, of course, sets up your grid order for race
Yeah.
day, which happens on Sunday. So whenever you go to buy tickets for events, you can either pick, hey, I want to go to race day Sunday, I want to go to qualifying Saturday, or if you're balling, you can pick all 3 days and have like
Yeah.
a Formula One weekend. So those
Or-
tickets can run you pretty high.
One thing I've learned in Miami since we've had the Grand Prix down here, the qualifying tickets are a little pricier, but the practice tickets are way cheaper to go to. So
Qualifying is an underrated part of it because
yes.
there's certain tracks that you have more trouble passing on than others.
Mm-hmm.
In for like a track like Monaco, where
Ooh.
passing another car is hard to do. It's almost impossible. Qualifying is so essential because it damn near solidifies what the race lineup is going to be. It almost solidifies, hey, this is the race because there is so limited room to pass. It's not a track designed for passing. Overtaking is the Formula One term.
Yeah, we'll take it.
So yeah, qualifying is a really big deal. So the fact that qualifying prices are up there, yeah, not really too surprising.
Yeah, that's just Miami for you, anyways. It's also I hate out to the football stadium, anyways, of a parking lot, anyways. Just put it downtown, see what happens, anyways.
I like the Miami race. Fun fact: my favorite driver, Lando Norris, his first ever win was Miami this past not this past year, but the year prior. So
nice.
Yeah.
All right.
I have a little bit of a heart. I have a little bit of a favoritism towards the Miami track for sure.
The only thing we complain about is a lot of us locals down here. It's when it's Formula One weekend, you just don't want to go anywhere near Miami or Miami Gardens.
I could not even imagine.
It's like avoid Miami at all costs. Let me just go up. I'll just go to West Palm for the weekend at least, anyways, and spend my money there. All right. Let's talk about Black Monday. What is the most surprising firing out of everybody?
Jonathan Gannon.
Thank you. That's the one we.
Jonathan Gannon is a very interesting firing, and I wouldn't be shocked if he's not hired by the end of the month, maybe. I mean, talk about a guy. We talked about Stefanski earlier. Talk about a guy given unfortunate circumstances. Jacoby Brissett balled out about as much as he could.
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr. only knew how to catch footballs for half the season. Other than that, what are you expecting him to work with, right? Like Kyler Murray, it was up and down. Was he going to play? Was he not going to play? I think it's probably going to end up with him leaving, going somewhere else. I would be shocked if they went with Jacoby Brissett as their quarterback of the future, kind of like a Geno Smith thing. I would doubt it. Arizona has no direction. If anything, if I'm Jonathan Gannon, I'm like, dude, I mean, fine, I'll go find a better situation. I don't really care. I thought that was an interesting fire because I thought he had not that he had did enough to keep his job, but he didn't have enough to compete with.
No.
Another one that kind of surprised me was the Raheem Morris firing.
Okay, like I kind of saw that writing on the wall because I think that Falcons organization is just a bleep show, anyways. Like
they're completely redoing it.
Yeah, which I'm glad they're doing it because something needs to get done there. And I like how they're going back to Matt Ryan's like, you kind of saved the franchise as a quarterback since Michael Vick went to prison. Can you save the franchise as a front office executive while balancing out CBS Sports? CBS Sports, I look at it like, I kind of like it anyways because he has a better football IQ than Rich McKay, who's been at that job since 2004 anyways. So and now he's moved. And like I think Terry Fontenot had no idea what he was doing. Signing Kirk Cousins was an awful contract, and it's like almost a fantasy football team like the old Dan Snyder Washington team was back in the day.
Right, but like I guess and I definitely agree with you. The writing was on the wall for Raheem Morris to get fired. It wasn't like Black Monday happened and I was like, oh, Raheem Morris was fired. I didn't see that coming. I did see it coming. It was something that was in the talks. I just think it's a little unfair. Again, another really terrible quarterback situation where Kirk Cousins is not Kirk Cousins of old. No. Now Michael Penix, I just put a big ass question mark on it and then leave it alone because I don't even know what that even is going to be for the future. But you have offensive weapons. You have defensive weapons. Like the Falcons are a good base team. They just need that support. And, I'm not inside the building. Maybe the players felt a certain way about Raheem Morris that we don't know about. But I did find it a little intriguing that Raheem Morris was let go so quickly.
Yeah. I also look at it, too, as like having previous viewing of him being as the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers post-Gruden. I looked at like, this is a bleep show anyways. And it was somewhat functional, but it became dysfunctional. I just look at it as like, it was somewhat functional, then it was very dysfunctional in there. Raheem Morris' era. Like you couldn't figure out a quarterback. And like you signed Kirk Cousins, like, oh, we're gonna draft Michael Penix Jr. at 9. I was like, are you effing kidding me?
That was crazy. But no, I mean, if they restructure their front office, I think there is some hope, some optimism for sure for the Falcons for the future.
I think my other one, the Aaron Glenn, how people think he's gonna get fired or one and done. How he's safe, that's pretty surprising. The big one down here in Miami, Mike McDaniel not being fired. Everybody wants him fired down here. They're sick and tired of him.
I'm glad that you brought that up.
Yes.
For multiple reasons. I want to touch on the Aaron Glenn one first.
Go.
What do you expect? I just saw a stat that Garrett Wilson was their leading receiver in yards. Trevor, do you know what his yards were?
Was it under 1,000?
Oh, well under 1,000.
Was it 500 yards?
I think it was like 500 yards. And he hasn't played since week 6. It really sucks. Jets fans are in shambles because they're always in shambles. I understand why probably 80% of them want Aaron Glenn gone because he didn't produce a winning season. You're in another situation where you're battling for a quarterback. Maybe you go and get somebody who's kind of already proven. I think
it depends on what you want to.
Just me throwing something at the wall, seeing if it sticks.
I hear you.
I think the Jets should at least give a call to Kyler Murray. Hey, you want to come here on a 2-year deal? Try to see something.
That's the one thing I could see happening. I could see Kyler Murray do like a sign and trade for him going from Arizona to the Jets at least. Just give him like a 2 years.
Kyler's 28 or 27. I want to say he's 28. So you could bring him in for a couple of years, maybe bring him in on a 3-year deal. During that time, if you want to draft somebody, develop them, whatever you want to do, I think that would work for the Jets. Now, to the Dolphins.
Go.
I'm a Quinn Ewers fan because I'm a Texas guy.
Okay.
So I believe in Quinn Ewers until I see something that proves that he can't ball in the NFL. And so far, I've seen promise.
Yeah.
Not going to call him. I'm not saying we should 5-year contract. Let's go ahead and give him 60 mil. No. I think I've already saw the report that he's going to be in the competition with the starting role. I think they're probably going to move Tua somewhere else, give him a fresh start. Maybe he goes to the Jets. I don't know. Jets need somebody.
Jets and Dolphins never do trades anyways, unless it's Jason Taylor going for free agency at least.
But Tua's probably going to go elsewhere. They'll bring in competition. I'm interested to see what that looks like. Mike McDaniel ruffles a lot of feathers because he doesn't always say what people want to hear. But when you look at what he puts on the field, it's kind of hard to deny that he's a good coach. Is he a good leader of men? I don't know. Definitely not when it comes to freezing temperatures.
No. Anything below 40, that team does not know how to do anything at all.
But I have a little bit of a hot take, and I don't know how your Miami fan base is going to feel about this, but that team got better after Tyreek Hill got hurt.
They won again.
Better is kind of a little not trying to say that they were playoff eligible or anything, but they did get better.
They were fun bad.
Waddle, fun bad. That's perfect. But that offense was a little bit more free. I think moving off of Tua is the right thing to do. I think if you're talking to your receivers, if you're talking to Jalen Waddle, if you plan on bringing Tyreek back, and you're talking to Tyreek, and you're like, who do you have more promise in? And they're like, well, we really like what Quinn has, or we're just not feeling Tua anymore. Then you have to do the things that you have to do. Because I know that they were shopping Jalen Waddle for a first-round pick.
Yeah, which is like, how do you not take the Bills offer? Like, we'll give you a 1 and a 2. Like, how do you not take that? Which is Champ Kelly's idiotic thing anyways. So, but my big thing is I want to see what Troy Aikman's going to do as a consultant, by the way.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Which I'm kind of like, I've gone by this. I was looking at it like, oh, Aikman's doing this. I kind of want to see what's going to happen because the thing down here is Stephen Ross. He's never cleaned house at the same time. He's kept the same people who's been here for almost 25 years. There's been no clean sweep since ever. I want to see if Troy Aikman tells you have to clean house. The problem is Stephen Ross is like too many yes men, and he likes to go. He has not even fired a retread head coach ever. He's always done the hot coordinator, like a first-time head coach. He's always done it every time, which is like mazel tov. It works all the time. Sometimes it doesn't work. I just want to see what will happen because when I first got down here, I was like, it was between Mike McDaniel and Doug Peterson and another guy and Dan Quinn. I was like, Doug Peterson's your guy. He'll be entertaining. Or you bring in Dan Quinn, he could build a culture at least. And they went with the hot shot coordinator, which lasted like at least 4 years anyways. They need a culture builder in my personal opinion.
Yeah. I guess I'll ask you this.
Go.
Some people do want to clean house and they want to fire GM and head coach. Some people only want to fire GM and look for a head coach. Some people want to fire GM, keep head coach, fire head coach, keep GM.
Yeah.
What, in your opinion, is the best way to go about it? Clean house, fire GM, fire head coach.
Right now, you have Chip Kelly running it. The search kind
of. Well, I'm just saying in general, like in general football team terms. What would you rather do?
If I was the Dolphins, I would clean house because they've done it. Okay. They haven't won a playoff game since the year of our Lord 2000. By the way, like 2000, like we were. I like to quote a great RJ Chopper, Loserville thing we were doing a couple weeks ago. We were celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Dolphins winning a playoff game versus the Indianapolis Colts. I said, this is peak Loserville. And I ain't celebrating this at all. So, because that's like, no, we don't do that. I don't do that at all. Like, that's a Loserville attitude.
I understand why the Miami fan base hates Mike McDaniel. I definitely do. I like Mike McDaniel. I think you should. Is he on the hot seat? For sure. That seat is burning hot. But I think you give him
George Foreman at least.
I think you give him one more year, kind of restructure this front office a little bit, see what he can do with the quarterback competition, see what happens. You're not expecting a winning season next year anyway.
I have not looked at no over-unders yet because those don't come out till September, till like June or July. So
they already are predicted to have the hardest schedule of
Oh,
next year. It's like,
lovely.
I don't know how the point system works. There's like a .500, 536 or something like that. So they have of the entire NFL, they have the toughest scheduling of 2026. So
Let me look at
off
their
to a hot
opponents.
start, Dolphins fans.
I know. Thank God. Fins down, as I like to say. Fins down. So they play AFC East. They have if the Bengals come to town, Chiefs come to town, Chargers come to town, Lions and Bears. That's a fun road. That's gonna be a fun road trip for all the Detroit fans coming
Get
down.
some primetime games, maybe. Maybe. I said maybe.
I'm gonna say it's a no. Make those all be 1:00, please. Anyways, so I get my work done by 7, and they go to Green Bay, Minnesota, Indy, Denver, San Francisco, and the Raiders at least. So
yeah, that sounds like a tough schedule. That sounds pretty terrible.
That sounds kind of. I like to say this. The home schedule is very favorable for the traveling fan of if you're a Dolphin fan, you're gonna sell your tickets a lot this year, anyways. So, like, let's be honest here. Chiefs fans will take over that place. Bills fans will take over. Charger fans, no idea. Bears fans will take over. We'll probably have Dwayne Wade on the sideline wearing a Bears jersey and a T-shirt. That'll piss off the Miami fan. Lions fans will definitely be there, and Bengal fan will be kind of there, anyways.
Damn. Yeah, I guess I didn't really think about it. That's tough.
It's kind of hilarious, actually. So, all right. Here's my other question for you. Since we have the first overall pick is the Raiders. Do you think Fernando Mendoza will ask if he goes to the draft? He will ask to do an Eli Manning like trade and not go to the Raiders. You think?
Oh, no chance. That guy's all about culture. He's all about winning. He's all about doing it the old school way.
Yeah.
He's gonna go walk in there. He's gonna be like, we're gonna come in here. We're gonna change the Raiders. It's not gonna be day one. He's gonna say some book line or some poem or something, and everybody's gonna be fanning over. I sound like a Fernando Mendoza hater. I am not. I've just seen this show before. Yeah. Good guy quarterback goes to bad football team, gets ruined. We never hear about him again. I like Fernando Mendoza. I like what he puts on the field. I love what he says. His post-game interviews are electric. Who doesn't love that? But the Raiders are
hopeless.
God, they're in a bad spot. They're in such a bad spot. And it sucks because they have really good players. Brock Bowers is one of them.
Michael Mayer.
We've seen Michael Mayer. I mean, yeah, don't even forget about him. So, and then the receiver that I'm blanking on his name right now, who ended up being pretty damn good himself. But
he ain't no Tim Brown or Charlie Garner, so that's what I always say.
Yeah, so I don't know if Fernando Mendoza is the answer because that offensive line is also atrocious. I would definitely try to get that fixed.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what do you do when you have the first overall pick to take the best quarterback? That's just kind of what teams do. Or you trade back.
Or you trade back. At least
I don't see the Raiders trading back. I
don't think they will. They need a quarterback. They haven't drafted a quarterback first overall since Jamarcus Russell. So maybe an Indiana quarterback would be the first.
You know what? Here's the silver lining, Raiders fans, if there are any watching. I would expect Fernando Mendoza to be better than Jamarcus Russell. So there's always that.
Yeah, that's true. Or any other Raider quarterback post 2006, anyways.
Right.
Yeah. That's a quarterback graveyard, I'll say. Doesn't matter if it's Dante Culpepper, Andrew Walter. God, there's some brutal ones. Jason Campbell. The list goes on and on and on. Anyways. All right. Let's look at a wild card weekend. How are you viewing this as you're a Dallas fan? How are you viewing it as a national guy? I like to ask you because what are you rooting for this wild card round, anyways? Chaos or just pure entertainment?
I think chaos is entertainment. I think those are synonymous. I think those are pretty much the same things.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for the Bills. I really love the Bills. I think they're a fun team to root for. It's hard not to root for Josh Allen. Mm-hmm. He's just not working with a whole lot. I don't mind the Patriots. I kind of want to see what they can do, but they're so young, which can be an advantage. It can be a disadvantage. You don't know what you don't know. But I love Mike Vrabel. I wish Mike Vrabel would have came to the Cowboys so bad. But I'm fine with Schottenheimer, but I love Mike Vrabel. And then for the NFC picture, There's just some teams in football that make football better when they're good. I do think the Chicago Bears are one of those teams.
Okay.
But between the Bears, the Rams, and the Seahawks, I feel like not enough people have been talking about the 49ers. Now, a lot of people were talking about them going into that Seahawks game.
Oh, yeah.
But the 49ers have had a very, very sneaky season with a lot of injuries. There's no reason that Kyle Shanahan shouldn't at least be in the top 3 of Coach of the Year voting, just at least in top 3 voting wise. Because what they have gone through to get to this point, shout out Mac Jones for helping them out whenever they needed him to. I think the 49ers are a very sneaky team. I love the Rams, but they haven't closed doors like they need to. And with the Seahawks, I just say, man, how much do I trust Sam Darnold?
Yeah, that's my big thing.
But at the end of the day, I'm going for the Bills because Bills fans have gone through some of the worst sports trauma that there is to go through. And if there is 1 year to do it, you got no Lamar, you got no Mahomes, and you got no Burrow. Josh Allen, this is your road to do your thing.
Like, for real, do your thing this year, for real. Here's what I'm rooting for. I want, like, classic matchups in the second round in the NFC. I love the NFC. I'm an NFC guy through and through. I go by this. I'm an Eagle fan. Don't hate me for this. I want Eagles-Bears, like, divisional round. I think that's classic NFC football.
That's a 13-10 football game.
That's a 13-10, 14-10. Someone's going to, like 17-14, someone's going to miss a field goal, double doink. Or someone's going to be a Hugh Douglas and just claps on Jim Miller. I'm
probably going to get snow either way. Yeah, I'm down for that.
And you're going to see the smoke. You're going to see the fire outside of the old Soldier Field. Rams Seahawks to me sounds so perfect for the late game on Sunday. Like, think about it. The late game Sunday, that's so perfect anyways. Because you have Stafford trying to revenge that blow it game on Thursday Night Football in Seattle.
Yeah.
I think Seahawks, Rams, and 49 and Eagles, Bears is the divisional round the NFC needs to have to say, like, the almost the original powers are back almost.
Right.
I just think those are my sexy matchups. The AFC, I'm rooting for the Bills. I kind of want to go up to Jacksonville for that game because that looks kind of fun anyways. And I'm not spending $500 for a ticket anyways in Duval County.
Yeah. The Jags are a tough team. Like, for the Bills to get off to the run they need to get off to, facing the Jags to get this thing going is not an easy start.
Yeah.
But while I'm talking about the AFC, the same way that I talked about the 49ers, go ahead and take that script and bring it over to the AFC. That's exactly how I think about the Houston Texans.
I actually like the Texans somehow upset the Steelers, by the way.
God, the Steelers are terrible.
I can't watch. I just don't.
How did we get to this point?
How did we get to the Steelers being this bad? How did we get to the point where the Steelers would go ask a priest to put holy water on the end zones, by the way? Did you see that, by the way?
It's just, I don't know, man. Steelers are annoying. I mean, it's not like we get to pick, but the NFL got a disservice to not get the Ravens and the Buccaneers in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I get it. Losses are losses. Records are records. Like, we're not sitting here picking votes like the college football playoff. But damn it, dude. Like, I know the Panthers are going to get steamrolled, and I know that the Steelers are going to get steamrolled, which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
But the Ravens deserve a chance and the Buccaneers deserve a chance because even though they didn't get in, we both know that they are the better team of both of those opponents.
Yeah. Like, Rams Bucks would have, like, that would at least be so like the perfect Saturday game. Or you just move that to, like, Sunday at 1, like Bills Jacks, kick it off, or Texans Ravens. 4:30, please. That's what you guys are known for, anyways. For the Houston Texans are, anyways. So
no one's gonna go watch. No one's gonna, like. I just don't find a lot of people are gonna go watch the Steelers game.
No, it's the worst part is it is Monday Night Football, but we will find a way to make ourselves watch it. Then I'll probably turn it off. I was like, I'm gonna watch a hockey game at least. Like that's what I've
Now the
been known to do.
Panthers, I could see the Panthers racking up some views.
Yeah.
They're kind of like the Cinderella story, if you will, like Bryce Young. Oh, he couldn't, now he can.
Mm-hmm.
But
Tate McMillan's entertaining. Rico Dottle doing his thing with Chubba Hubbard.
Shout out Rico.
Shout out to Rico, man. I like watching that Panther team whenever it's like when you have Sunday ticket. Like for me, if Eagles are on, like, what's a good NFC game to watch? I remember watching that Rams Panther game. Like, I'm entertained by this at least. So
yeah,
that's why I think if you get Rams Seahawks and you have Eagles Bears, I think you're good. Eagles Packers, I'm cool with as well. Even though Packer fans are annoying.
I don't like Packers. I don't like the Packers.
I could understand.
I mean,
they're like the St. Louis Cardinals.
It really doesn't have anything to do with Micah, who's not even playing on the team, nor does it have anything to do with Trayvon. I just don't like the Packers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, there you go. Aaron Rodgers. They've always ruined our dreams as Cowboys fans. I'm just not a fan of the Packers. I think they're frauds. I don't think they're going to do anything in the playoffs. God, I can see myself getting clipped already. I just don't think they're going to do anything in the playoffs. And I think that they're going to possibly get steamrolled. I just don't think that this team is the team to do it. They have 3 wide receiver twos.
More like threes. Threes.
Like the list just goes on, and the list just. I was trying to be generous. The list just goes on and on and on. Why I don't like the Packers, and I don't think they're good.
I think Packer fans are like the St. Louis Cardinal fans. They're like the worst, and they pop out of nowhere, anyways. Once they're good, and plus,
I mean, yeah.
Think about it. Just think about it. It's the perfect comparison. Like, let's be honest here. Have you ever met a Packer fan that's ever been to Green Bay, Wisconsin? No.
Actually, yes. Someone in my family is actually from Wisconsin and is a Packers fan. So
no way.
Ironically, I have. So
that is nuts.
There you
go. What do you think? Who's the most young and dumb team that you're just happy to see that did very well this year? You had no expectations for.
Who? No expectations for.
Like for me, it was the Patriots. Like for me, I said the Patriots on one of like the last preseason post game show. Like Patriots are gonna lap the Dolphins, and I was kind of right, by the way. And I had Dolphin fans mad at me for like a month straight, anyways.
The Jags.
That's a good one.
The Jags. I would say the Jags. I know that Trevor Lawrence isn't necessarily young, but they are a pretty they are a pretty young team. Liam Cohen, obviously everyone was clowning on him with his whole Duval thing, but now everybody respects him. And the Jags have been doing this for majority of the year. Maybe not majority of the year, but some pretty primetime spots without Travis Hunter. So who I think is a better receiver than corner, personally. Yeah. So I think the Jags. The only reason why I don't say the Patriots is because the writing was kind of on the wall. Mm-hmm. We knew that Drake May was already their guy. We've seen what Stephon Diggs can do in the past. We all trust Mike Vrabel as a head coach. We all sit here and think, God, Titans, why did you fire him?
Yeah.
So you kind of look at all those things, and they spent in the free agency, like they picked up really good players to be on their team. They still probably outplayed what most people thought, but I thought the Jags, because I remember watching the Jaguars play the Chiefs on Monday Night Football earlier this year, and I'm like, all right, see if the Jags can do it. Yeah. We didn't know what the Chiefs were at the time, right? Like we're just like, no, they're the Chiefs. It doesn't matter. They're the Chiefs.
Was it a week 4 game?
It was early on. It might have been. It was early on.
Because I remember I was at that Eagles-Buck game, and I was like, oh, wait, it's probably week 5 or 3, one of the two, because I remember week 4 was the Dolphins-Jet game anyways.
But it was just – I remember it was early on in the season, and I was kind of like, all right, let's see if the Jags pass this test, and they did. So I was like, we'll see what they can do, and then they just kind of stacked wins.
They did stack wins. They were entertaining. Week 5 it was, by the way. I just thought that was the most – that was such a cool, like, seeing all the Chiefs fans like sad. They lost the Jags, like crazy. Anyways, who's your biggest disappointment for the year of our Lord of 2025 NFL season? Would you say?
Biggest disappointment. I know you're expecting me to say the Cowboys for one of these.
No, I was going to give you the Lions.
Yeah.
So I'll give you mine. Lions, Number one.
I'll
Number
have to play
two.
off of yours.
Number two, I thought we would at least see more fight in the Raiders this year with Pete Carroll as head coach. God, I was goddamn wrong.
No.
So I had the Raiders up there. It was like Pete Carroll will make this team fight at least. But
yeah, they'll at least be average.
Yeah, they'll at least be like they'll be 7-8, 7-8-1, or 7-9, 7-10. They'll be fine. They'll get squeak out some wins anyways. That I said Washington, because we expected a lot of big things out of Jaden Daniels' second year. And
I knew that fall off. I knew the fall off for the Washington team was going to come eventually. They're so old, dude.
Yeah.
The fact that Bobby Wagner is still doing it is a miracle, even to the Commanders, because they didn't expect it.
What steroids does he have? I want those steroids at least.
I tell you what, man. I worked for the Cowboys a couple of years ago, and I did some press room stuff. And I got lucky enough to do some locker room interviews.
Yeah.
And I remember I walked by Bobby Wagner one time. I think it was his final year on the Seahawks, because this is the complete side part. I saw Bobby Wagner and I saw Tyler Lockett at the same time. And the difference in human of Tyler Lockett and Bobby Wagner, I was like, man, the NFL's crazy, because Bobby Wagner was like, huge. He's not like a super tall guy, but he is just like, you're just like, dude, how is he so agile? Like, he is massive. And then Tyler Lockett just looks like he could pass as a normal everyday human being. And I was just like, dude, the fact that these guys put on this team together, and Tyler Lockett's a guy.
Yeah.
I was like, man, the NFL's crazy. That was just a quick sidebar. But no,
Tyler
I
Lockett,
knew the downfall.
You see playing at LA Fitness anyways.
Dude, yeah, it was insane. But the downfall for the Commanders, I kind of predicted. I didn't predict the Jaden Daniels injury necessarily, because who would?
No.
But like, they're really old. I kind of like, it's not surprising to me that the injuries are started to pile up this year. They're gonna have to, and now they might be losing Cliff Kingsbury / firing Cliff Kingsbury. So I don't know what that looks like.
Here's my other one, Tampa Bay.
So as you were asking me, I was building my list, and Tampa Bay climbs the top of that ladder pretty quick. I don't know if it's more than the Lions. Yeah, I don't know if it's more than the Lions, but
just say 1A, 1B.
Because here's what I'll say. From a national perspective, what I saw was everybody saying Aaron Glenn left, Ben Johnson left, the Lions are going to suck this year. Like, there were a lot of people saying the Lions aren't going to make the playoffs, the Lions aren't going to make the playoffs. It's all the coordinators. Dan Campbell don't know nothing. And now we're sitting here like, oh, man, it sucks the Lions didn't get into the playoffs. But I'm trying to remember back in week 1 going into the NFL season, like, there's people who are like, dude, the Lions aren't going to make the playoffs. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were supposed to make the playoffs.
Yes. I said print the T-shirts after the Eagles beat the Bucs. Like, print the T-shirts, Tip. I'll see I'll see a divisional round at least.
So and Baker Mayfield off to such a strong start, started getting into the MVP voting. Mike Evans goes down. You can't help but think that played a part in it. And what the hell happened to Emeka Egbuka?
The rookie wall, that hit him real hard.
Man. He was going band for band with Jackson Smith and Jigba, and then something happened. So I would say the most disappointing team is probably the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and especially the fact that they had the chance to do it with a little bit of help, but they had the chance to get in, and they just didn't.
Yeah, I said Lions because it's like we expected. Like, what can they do as a repeat, as an encore, as Eminem would say?
They better make it next year.
They better. So I kind of compared it to Cincinnati losing their coordinators in 2014 when they lost Jay Gruden and Mike Zimmer, and they still somehow made the playoffs anyways as a wild card anyways. But even though they got smoked by the Colts anyways, I think the Lions encore will be interesting for next year. Raiders, everyone needed it's like a fun, cool take. Like, oh, the Raiders will be good with Pete Carroll at least. Washington.
Here, you want to hear a fun take? I mean, this will get you laughing. This will get you laughing out of your seat. You'll fall on the floor. So I had you want to talk about a hot take? I had a take that was burning through the damn floor. Back in how far long ago was this? Probably back in like March of last year.
Mm-hmm.
I predicted that the Jets of all teams were gonna make the playoffs.
Oh, this is the one that Fred Davis put the notepad on. Remember that one? I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So look, you stay in the business long enough, you're gonna have some pretty terrible takes.
Yeah.
Nothing gets hotter than thinking the Jets were gonna make.
Where's that little sound bite you guys use that I use now as well? Jesus, that was whew. That was a shot in the dart right there anyway. So
yeah, it was. It definitely was. And look, hey, it happens.
It does happen. We do that anyways. I said Christian JJ McCarthy is the second coming of Christian Ponder, by the way.
Oh, I'm a JJ McCarthy fan.
Oh,
you're not gonna you're not gonna catch any slander from me.
He's not perfect.
He's not perfect, but I give him a little bit of time. Just give him a little bit of time.
We said that with Christian Ponder when the Vikings took him in his top 10 quarterback. The Vikings can never.
If he doesn't work this year, then that's whatever. But we'll see. I see gamer moments in JJ McCarthy.
He has his moments, but it's like they fluctuate almost. It's not like straight line. Sure. It's like this, that. I'm just doing the hand signals anyway, so that's how I feel. So,
but I get what you're saying
for sure. All right, we're gonna do this all the first time listeners, first time guests of the Upper World Podcast, a fit Q&A. All right, first off, what's the one sneaker you want to see get re-released again? By the way,
one sneaker. I mean, dude, it's hard to pick. They release all of them. They just
not all of them. Not all of them.
They just re-release all of them. It feels like. What sneaker do I want them to re-release? Damn, that's a really good question. I think they should re-release. I'm trying to think of a Grail sneaker that was kind of like an undefeated 4 type of vibe where there was such a limited quantity. They were doing stupid numbers and then they came out with them in mass quantity. And now the 2025 pair wasn't as hard to get. I'm trying to think of something like that. If they could re-release, man, I'm not trying to give you dead air.
I'm trying to think. Some of the Kobe
stuff, give me yours because I want
the Kobe 8 Christmas. Okay. From like those like the clear of the green and stuff. That was cool. Kobe 7, like what the Kobe like the animal attack ones were cool. Any of the Kobe 8 colorways, there's some really good ones. I remember the Mamba Courier one. I don't think they re-released that one yet, but I would like to see that. Kobe 4, the 8. There was one colorway I liked. It was white. I had it as in high school, and I loved that colorway. It was like a Team Bank colorway. I found the one pair I wanted forever was the gray and blue Minneapolis Laker colorway. It's like the Carolina blue. I finally bought the Kobe ones for that one finally, and I wear those occasionally. Give me the 13 seconds or less Kobe ones. Because even though I just don't want to spend $600 or $700 for Alpha Flight Club right now.
Yeah, I would say probably. I mean, dude, like, give us re-release the Grinches for crying out loud. Like, can we bring those prices down, please? Yeah, I think I would probably say the Grinches is one of them. Just, I loved the reverse Grinch. The reverse Grinch was a beautiful shoe, but nothing hits. I mean, the Grinch colorway might be on the Mount Rushmore of top 4 sneakers in just of all time in general.
The Chaos Kobe 5s also pretty good. Even though I don't like how it's caged, your foot's caged in there.
Yeah,
as we get technical, I think the Kobe 6 is betterly caged than the 5. The 4 I love. It's just I just love the early 2000s basketball shoes, anyways. So
and while we're at it, if we're just I'm just trying to think of sneakers that are less very unlikely to be re-released. If we could ever get a re-release massive quantity of the Cause Jordan 4s.
Okay.
either the gray or the black.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic. You can even put them at retail for 310, 310, 320, 350, whatever you want to call it. Because I know that they're going to resell for $1,500.
Maybe $2,100 at least.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, I mean, those are probably a couple of, because I mean, the Cause Jordan 4s are some beautiful looking shoes that I would love to buy and then never wear because I'm terrified to wear them.
I bought the
engraving on them.
I bought the Caitlin Clark Kobe 5s. I think I've worn them maybe 3 times, by the way.
Okay.
They feel like, I look at it like these are weird to wear. I have like the only thing you can wear it with. Let me go throwback here. A Baron Davis, the Warriors jersey with their blue, orange, and yellow. You can only wear it with that, honestly. Like make it a Baron Davis jersey, you're good to go at least.
Okay, now I've got a question for you.
Go.
Off the top of your head, do you know how many sneakers you have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pairs.
You have 9 pairs of sneakers? Okay.
Yeah. I have I have the LeBron 2s. I thought those were kind of cool when they re-released. I got those at the outlet stores and Nike outlet. Shout out to that. I got the Maccabee, the gold and white ones. They're white and gold.
Which ones?
The LeBron 2s.
Okay. I'd have to probably go back and look at them.
I have those. I have the USA LeBron 2s. I wore those. I just didn't like my foot was in it. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. It's that bad boy.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I got those for $100 at Nike outlet. By the way, those were still.
By the way, I used to work for Nike. So.
Ooh.
I have no plugs. I have no nothing. I just
tell Nike to get Miami Hurricanes back in the program, please. I can't stand their Adidas gear, anyways. So.
Oh my god, Adidas gear is the worst.
It is, yes. That's the one. I have those in my closet. I have the LeBron Vice Knights, LeBron 8 lows. I wore the bleep out of those, and I just like the old air bubble. How it was like it was an Air Max on it. I was like, that's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
So I was gonna buy.
So you like LeBron sneakers?
Like Kobe's the most. They're more comfortable than LeBron's. Like LeBron's is like good for a boot almost, but I grew up wearing Kobe sneakers. I tried LeBron's out. I didn't like how my funny sidebar. I didn't like how my feet smelled for the LeBron shoes all the time because they had like vents in the insoles and stuff. So
yeah,
that was my bad thing. So I that's why I swapped to Kobe's, and I have no problems with that, anyways. So
I have quite a few sneakers. I would probably say my favorite sneaker and probably one of my go-tos is just any kind of an Air Max.
Yeah.
Specifically Air Max 1. I love Air Max 1s.
Really?
But I mean, I love them. Especially when they re-released with the big bubble. They're so comfortable. They go with they don't go with everything. They're blue, but
I would say
I love them.
Silver Bullet Air Max 97s were my favorites, by the way.
I have a pair of 97s and I enjoy them very much. I would enjoy a Silver Bullets pair to the collection for sure.
I got those because they re-released them before Christmas. Nobody knew about it. It was like, grab it.
Oh, it was it was a very low-key drop. Yeah.
It was February. It was December 2022. I finally found a pair. I wore the bleep out of those for almost 4 years, by the way. Yeah. It was like my go-to shoe I wore to games, everything. Now it's the Kobe 6 All-Star 2.0, which I consider I got them for I can wear these Air Force Ones because they can go with anything almost.
I haven't worn them like that. I need to wear them more for sure, but I've only probably worn them 7 or 8 times since I've had them.
They're probably my favorite sneaker I bought in a while because I missed out on the original Kobe.
Oh, they're so comfortable. That's my first pair of Kobe's that I've ever bought.
Really?
They're so comfortable. Yeah, they're so ridiculously
comfortable.
I
grew up with the 4s and the 5s. Couldn't get the 6. Couldn't get the 7. Got the 8. Got the 9. Stopped after because I hated the design. But I love the original ones. I got the pair of Kobe ones I like wearing occasionally. So I just like how it looks like a Chukka boot from iPath back in the day. So that's how I view it. All right. Funny story about working with Fred Davis and Blake Elliott. That nighttime show is hilarious, and you guys were kind of like my drive time home after work, anyway, since you guys were up So I will tell you that, by the way.
So 7 to 11. I am not the permanent producer of Fan After Dark. They just throw me on once or twice a week. But we have a fantastic rotation of producers, and I tell you what, man. After about 9 o'clock Central, it gets wild.
Yes,
There's a line. There's a line. There's a line in radio right here.
yes.
Here's the FCC, and this is what they don't want you to say. This line is pretty much what we stay on. We stay right here on this line, and we don't ever say anything that we're not supposed to. But damn it, we get close. It's a ton of fun.
Yes,
We do talk sports. We talk a lot of sports, and we don't just talk Cowboys. For those that are Cowboys haters, which I get, totally understand. But we talk about a lot of cultural things. We talk about a lot of life things. We have a segment called Fair or Foul where we'll find a story and we just all talk. We read it aloud and we debate if it's a fair or foul. Is it fair or foul? Blah blah. Fair or foul is a ton of fun. Sometimes let me do a little khaki kicks if I could. I'm doing one this week.
Time permitting.
Yeah, time permitting. But I've been told I'm getting a khaki kicks this Thursday, so I'm pumped about that. So. But yeah, no, it's a ton of fun. We'll do Tolos on the telephone. We call our Tolos, or we call our fans Tolos. Turn it on, leave it on. So they'll call in around 10:20 Central, and speak your mind, 30, 45 seconds. Don't curse, and we'll have a nice little chit chat.
Have a take.
But yeah, it's a ton of fun. Have a take, don't suck. Yeah, it's a ton of fun. Funniest story with working with Fred and Blake. Oh man, there's so many good stories. I would say one of the funniest stories. Actually, one of the funniest stories of working with Fred and Blake. I actually wasn't even working the show. I was listening, and I'm trying to stay as PG as possible for your audience. I was listening. I was listening and my buddy Jacob was the producer that night, and it was one of his first shows that he had done because he was newer on the team. And we used to do a segment called Top 5 at 10:20. Now we do totals on the telephone, but Top 5, we would pick something and then we would do a Top 5. And somehow, some way, they created the Top 5 was going to be Top 5 stripper names. So Top 5 stripper names. And the best part is every time they would go around the room and say the name, they'd come up. They wouldn't just say like, "Oh, it's Rose." Like they'd have some nice, have it, make it all funny and whatever. So they made it halfway through. They're like, no. They're like, we should do announcing. Like we should announce it. So like as if you like the guy with the mic being like, and now coming to the stage.
Stage 4.
So, yeah, right. So I remember driving and listening to that segment in real time, and I was like, I was in tears. I was laughing so hard because it was so funny and so well done that you were like, why is this so accurate and so good?
Yes.
So yeah, that one is definitely one of the funniest things I've ever endured. I unfortunately was not working that night, but it was a ton of fun.
That is the funniest one is when you guys hired Skip Schumacher. Fred Davis slid in the DMs like, do you know any Marlins guys? Like, what's your number? I asked Carter Freeman. It's like, yo, give me Fred's number. I'll give him some context anyways. So that's the funniest. Oh yeah. I always say that I helped out Fred find some people anyways when the Marlins when the Rangers hired Skip Schumacher anyways. All right, you're a Jersey guy as well. What's your favorite jersey that you have, and which one do you want the most anyways? Or what's the worst one you have currently?
Worst jersey that I have is a old Ezekiel Elliott jersey that I outgrew. The jersey I want the most, it's actually funny. This is the most random thing. This is why I love jerseys, because I feel like every jersey is random in its own way.
Yeah.
I have a random collection of DeAndre Hopkins jerseys. So I have a Cardinals, I have a Titans, and I have a Texans.
Where's the Chiefs one?
So I'm missing Chiefs and I'm missing Baltimore.
Yeah.
But that's my thing. I'm 3 jerseys in. I have to complete the cycle. I'm hoping he doesn't go anywhere else.
You're also missing the obvious one, a Clemson one.
I guess you're right. I mean, if I have the full collection, I might as well go get a Clemson jersey. I've never thought about that. But getting a Clemson DeAndre Hopkins jersey would be vintage.
Yes.
It would probably be hard to get, but it'd be so worth it.
Yeah.
So I would say my favorite collection is my DeAndre Hopkins collection. I grew up idolizing him. He's my favorite player, back in his prime as a receiver. But my favorite jersey is, I think so. I've got a good amount.
Because the worst one I have is a Lito Shepherd Philadelphia Eagles jersey. That's way too small on me. Even though it's 2X, it got thrown in the dryer one time.
I just recently got a throwback red Patriots Wes Welker jersey.
Oh, that's a good one.
From a Patriots friend of mine, and it's fully stitched, and he did not make me pay full price for it. That one's probably one of my favorites just because it's got a nice pop of color. It is a little big, but that's fine because I wear my jerseys with hoodies anyway. So yeah, I would say that's definitely one of my favorites because it's it's Wes Welker,
Yeah,
lunch pail guy,
lunch pail guy, slot receiver, can take a concussion and knows how to play the game.
Exactly,
and makes fun of Rex Ryan's foot fetish thing.
Well, we all do that, but the jersey is sweet looking. That's
pretty. Awesome. That the Patriot throwback ones, the red ones, are like top tier, anyways.
Oh yeah, it's nice. I love it.
People clown them, but those are classic Patriot jerseys, anyways. So, what's the favorite? What's the funniest? What's the best game you've produced for either Cowboys or Rangers? Would you say that's memorable to you? By the way,
yeah. Our win over the Eagles this past year, actually.
That was
a wild ass game, and the fact that we won it. I mean, our season is what it is. You finished.
You sound like '90s Eagles fans right now, celebrating a win over the Cowboys.
It is what it is. Well, just the fact that I was working it, and I was just like, why do I feel like we can still kind of win this game? And we had no business winning that game at all. Yeah. And it was just fun making fun of the Eagles, like, oh my God, they can't figure out AJ Brown. Like, oh my God, AJ Brown still went off and they still lost. Like, it was just like how did you let the Cowboys win? So I don't know. So, but the fact that I was working it was fun.
The funny thing about me, I didn't get to watch a single second of it because I had to work at University of Miami basketball game, and then I got home, I went to sleep, and I worked the Canes game the day before. So
yeah, that game was nuts. And then ironically, the first game of the season, because of the rain delay, I was working that Eagles Cowboys game too. So I remember that because I was like, damn, bro, first game of the season and we're already up to no good. So I remember that.
So I was working the Westwood One broadcast for that. I had to listen to Mike Golick Jr. call his father, Mike Golick Sr. dad, the whole time. It was making me go insane. Just call him just call him Senior or Mike Sr. at least. Don't call him Dad on air. Like, get out of here, please. So I think I texted Wolchuk. I was like, well, at least Odyssey's going to pay us overtime tonight, anyways.
Yeah, well,
that's maybe. I think the funniest game I produced Josh Allen's collapse versus the Dolphins. He was like, they were up a little bit in 2022. And it was also like Josh Allen's like first loss versus Dolphins in like 4th straight or something. I remember producing that. God, there's some funny ones I produced. Produced a Stanley Cup final game for the Panthers. Game 6, I remember that one. I produced it when Jimmy Butler went off against the Milwaukee Bucks in 2023, actually. In the first round of the playoffs. I think it was game 4, make them go up 3-1, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I did that one. Canes football games. Canes won in overtime versus Clemson with no Tyler Van Dyke. And that kind of that's like the turning point the game of the year anyway. So that was like the first game first game I had to run board for anyways for Canes, because I usually do highlights or liners anyway, so it's kind of cool anyways. So that's why. All right, Khaki Kev, when's the podcast coming back? I gotta ask.
February, yeah, early February. We're coming back better than ever. Last year was our first year doing streaming. No, I mean that literally, not just a figure of speech. Like last year was our first year ever doing streaming, and we learned a lot throughout the process. We did audio only on our first season, so only our third season, but ready to conquer it all. We've got a really exciting season ahead of us. The 2026 regulations, it's going to be really fun because all these teams have to restart. It's a completely new regulation, and you're sitting here wondering like, what the hell does any of that mean? Oh, I guess you'll have to tune in to find out, won't you?
Yes.
So the last podcast, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. You can find us on YouTube and Spotify as well. But yeah, sometime February. It's not. We don't know the exact date when we're coming back because we do think we might do a podcast. We might do an episode before the season starts because there's a little bit of heat right now on the Formula One season. So
yeah,
sometime February though, we'll get this thing back and running. I mean, hell, we just got done in early December, so the Formula One season is a long one, brother. It is a long one.
Oh, I bet. At least you have content in the summertime when I'm scratching at tables like, what do I talk about, baseball or some other rumor in the NBA or NHL? At least that's what I go. Like, you guys have content all the time anyway. So,
well, I guess you know who to call then.
We do have a soccer guy and we now have an F1 guy. So I'm glad to say we're spanning the globe here on the Upper Bowl podcast.
There you go.
You're a recurring guest of the podcast. You could hold that over the head of Fred and Blake anyways. So I'll give you that for sure.
I'll be sure to let them know.
All right.